What up, what up? Welcome to an amateur tech review. I'm an amateur. This is my tech review. And today I'm going to be reviewing my purchase of the Illegear Onyx V. Okay, now before we go any further, I want to say that if you're looking for a sophisticated, in-depth review on the text of this thing, this is not the video for you. But if you're someone who's like me, who just wanted to buy something without having to think about it and know that you have a flagship computer and everything is settled for the next 5 years and you can play all the games, you can do all your hardcore design work and stuff like that without really knowing too much about tech too much, and you just had the money to afford to buy something at the best price to quality ratio, this is the video for you. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna give you the most guerrilla tech review here because right now I'm actually recording from the Illegear computer because I only use a laptop and I hook it up to my extended monitor, and this is how I do my streams. So in order to actually do this review with good camera quality, I have to use my computer. I know it's weird, but nevertheless, let me just show you right here. Hold up. So this is the Onyx. All right. Now the keyboard is not lit because I recently uploaded to Windows 11, and for some reason the command center is not working, and I can't light up my keyboard. But nonetheless, this is what it looks like. Okay. Super sleek. You can find better photos on the website. But what I tell you about this is, hold on, let me show you the specifications. Okay. Just go to, so these are the specs right here. You can go to their website. You can find it. I don't know if I paid, it was during lockdown and I had a more discount than 5,700, but overall, with all these upgrades, I got this laptop under 6,000 ringgit. Now, the best part, so I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons, okay? The pros was obviously that this was an RTX 360, right? Graphics, which was from what I didn't even know about this. Again, I'm just trying to find a good price to quality computer that can handle everything I want it to do. But then it turns out that, first of all, not only were these graphic cards super hard to get, but for a price of under 6,000, to get an RTX 360, you'd have to pay double. You'd have to pay about 13,000 ringgit, or that's like $3,000. So basically, I paid half of the price for a laptop in order to get this RTX 360. So first of all, that was the biggest bargain ever that you can get. And second, now I don't like, okay, the RAMs and everything else is pretty good. The monitor, I like it. It's like compared to what I was using before. I was using this dinosaur. Hold up. Yeah, I was using this Dell Inspiron. Okay, it's super old. I had it for 6 years. It did its job. Okay, and moving on from this to this monitor was way better. The resolution is crisp. The bezel or the bezel, whatever the bezel of the screen is very narrow and sleek. And unlike most computers, the webcam, right? And these new computers, for whatever reason, they put their webcams here. But this guy has a nice little HD cam right here. And it's not perfect, but, you know, if you're not streaming or anything, I mean, you can view the video quality on my previous YouTube videos that I uploaded about 4 months ago or 6 months ago. That was using the laptop inbuilt camera. I just recently bought this. Like, I just started using this like for this video and the next video. So this is an extended webcam that I bought. So you can check the qualities. I bought this because it was better than the laptop one. And yeah, so pretty standard. Now, back into my usage of this thing, right? And how it felt using it. So I've only had this for about 6 months now. I bought it around June. Now it's December. It's about 6 to 7 months. So when I first got it, I immediately tested it out with hardcore games like Red Dead Redemption 2. All the games that I had in my computer, but I couldn't play, I started playing them. All these heavy, and I put them on like max graphics, I play Dota. But the biggest thing for me was playing a game like Red Dead, which is some of the most demanding games, right? And it ran smoothly. It looked beautiful, okay? Because this laptop is pretty small for its power, okay? But it ran Red Dead perfectly. The only issue I experienced with it was the heating. So Illegear, if you're watching, please note this is very important. So all laptops get overheated. No, not a surprise. But what was different about this was that it would get so hot, okay? It would get so hot around this area where the G is, that when I was playing Red Dead, when I press the G, it actually feels like hot, that to the point it's uncomfortable. Like I can't press it for too long because it's too hot. I wouldn't say it hurts, but it's like uncomfortably hot, and that's concerning. I'm like, hey, this is like, there's a lot of stuff in there that can melt. So that kind of concerned me, and I was a little disappointed about that, because one of the main issues I have, the reason I came searching for a different type of brand or a new brand, was because I noticed all these high-end laptops, you either have to spend a ridiculous amount of money, like over 10,000 or three, like if you're talking US dollars, about $2,000 to $3,000 to get similar specs as this. And if you wanted something cheaper in my range, which was about $1,500, you would get stuff that were good specs, but then you would have computers that couldn't handle themselves. Like the Dell that I had good specs for its time, but it couldn't handle itself. It would, like, if I played on max graphics, it'll play max graphics and then it'll shut down on itself because it couldn't handle its own power. So that was one side effect that I noticed about Illegear, is the heat. However, I purchased some of these laptop coolers. Okay, you just kind of like stick it to the back vent, or the vents of your laptop. There's like two of them at the back. Show you right here. And, there's one vent here, another vent here, and I'm pretty sure there's two on the side over there. So adding this to the back, okay, really helped a lot. And I also got a stand for the computer, so it wasn't just flat on the table. This reduced the temperature, and it made it, less concerning. And I was able to work around the cooling issue. Now, another benefit is the weight. It's super light computer. It feels super sleek. Okay, the what is it? Anodized aluminum body felt very nice. I like it. Like, the computer just looks and feels great. Yeah, so in terms of those aspects, I felt pretty comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with how it handles its power, apart from the cooling issues. So, like, other games don't even get that hot. If you play a less demanding game, it's pretty normal. It runs smoothly. But when you play something like Red Dead, that's pretty heavy, it's going to get really hot. So apart from that, another issue that I noticed with it is, and again, I've had this for 6 months, and these are just the little stuff I'm nitpicking, because this is the most expensive laptop I've ever bought. And I'd assume that these things are kind of already settled, and I wouldn't have to think about it. For instance, the keyboard lighting. When I first bought it, the keyboard would light up fine. You can change the colors from their command center that comes with the computer. But after a while, after a few months, every time I turn on my computer, the keyboard is off. The keyboard light is off, and I have to go manually turn it on from the keyboard control center, which I started to find really annoying, because every day I need to do that in order to have a well-lit keyboard. It's not like my main concerning issue, but I like having a lit keyboard, and it's not really something I want to have to think about or to manually go and turn on every time just so I can have a lit keyboard. So again, not really a pressing issue, but it's some of the tiny little things that when paying this price, you expect it shouldn't be an issue. Another issue is sometimes if I'm running on battery mode, I don't experience this much when I'm using an HDMI to my monitor. But when I'm running on battery mode or walking around with my computer, and I switch between tabs, specifically if I'm watching a video and I switch to, say, reading an article, and then I switch back to the video, the screen will kind of do this weird shutter. I don't know why, but it just like has this weird blink that kind of refreshes it into playing the video. It's a millisecond, but it keeps happening, and it's like, why is it not? Like, I don't experience this with normal computers, and this is brand new. So, like I said, little tiny stuff that I'm like, I hope this doesn't become a problem later on in the future. I just bought this, um, and so apart from these small little operating system glitches, if that's what you would consider them, I don't really have much complaints about the computer. So the main complaints for me was the heating, which I managed to resolve, the keyboard light, having to manually turn it on, and these weird screen refreshes when I'm on battery mode and switching between video to text, uh, browsing tabs. There was this one moment where I turned on the computer. It's only happened once, but I turned on the computer and it didn't. It just stayed in the start menu, like kind of frozen for a really long time, and I had to shut it off manually and then turn it back on. I hate doing that. That was the biggest problem with my old laptop, because that damages your hard drive. It's not good. But apart from that, for the price that you're paying, right, everything else is great. Like I said, the screen quality is great. The graphics, it runs amazingly. It's an RTX 360, which means it's one of the most high-end graphic cards you're gonna get, and you're not gonna get a laptop with these specs at this price. So I think if that's what you want, if you want to just buy something and not have to buy a new laptop for a few years. Now, I can't speak for durability. I've only had it for 6 months, but in terms of price to quality ratio, you're not gonna get another deal like this. If that's what you're looking for, then this is a laptop that I highly recommend. So overall, I'm quite satisfied with my purchase. It's just these little nitpicks that I wish I didn't have to think about. It's a little bit annoying, but overall, I don't regret my purchase. I think it's, again, for what I paid for, great. I wouldn't, for this kind of price with another brand, I might have maybe less issues with the keyboard and less issues with battery mode screen refresh, but I also would not have an RTX 360 and 16 gig RAM and whatever. So I hope you enjoyed this this not amateur tech review. If you want to find out more from Illegear, just go to their website, check out their deals. This is non-sponsored, none at all. I just thought that this would be useful because when I tried looking for Illegear reviews, I couldn't find videos that were helpful to me, or rather they were, but there was just a small amount. And I said, maybe somebody wants a customer testimonial of someone who's not sponsored and who has no agenda here, but simply to just talk about his experience, his customer non-tech experience, right? Someone who's just not sophisticated in these things. I'm literally just giving you as some meathead using a computer, okay? So I hope you like this. I hope you found this useful. Again, I do recommend these laptops if you're okay with the side effects I just mentioned. And I'll have you a good one. Peace out.